afternoon. He's probably not going to play both. It depends on some guys play both. They play 36 tomorrow, 36 the next. So I haven't heard yet. It's me and my wife's anniversary, so we're using today as a day of hanging out and then starting tomorrow.
All right, they're ready. Okay, we'll get that ready. The men were selected to Noblesville Regional, which begins next Monday, the 17th. So, Coach, if you could talk a little bit about getting selected to that region, and then a little bit about the season, and then we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I couldn't be more excited to be headed to Noblesville. That regional site fits our team the best. It's the closest. It was perfect for us. The only other one that would have been great would have been Nashville, just because we've got Trevor Johnson, a senior on our team that's a member at the golf course down there in Nashville. But honestly, the golf course couldn't be better for us. It's just like ULGC. It's Kentucky bluegrass rust, bent grass greens, bent grass fairways. So we see that every day, and that's what we're going to see up there at the regional site. And we have a pretty big advantage there. One, we're 2 hours away, so we're not having to do the travel. But also, most of the teams that have been selected to that site are from the south to southeast. Most of them are used to Bermuda grass, fairways, Bermuda grass rust, Bermuda grass green. So this is going to be a shocker for most of them. And to add fuel to the fire, some of those teams hadn't been able to travel much because of COVID, so they've kind of stayed down in Florida. So I'm loving it, honestly. I think it's going to fit us great, and I expect us to do well. I told our guys that we're going there to win. I know the top 5 get to go to the Nationals, but the only reason we're there is to win the golf tournament, and so that's what our goal is. And I think it's going to be a good week for us. We've been preparing all week. We're going to play a little bit of Valhalla and a couple other places in town while the girls are at our golf course, and we're kind of displaced. But other than that, we'll be at our golf course practicing, so I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, Coach, it's Jody Dimling with Cardinal Authority. What were you kind of is it what you were expecting? I mean, when you after you played the ACC, after the whole season kind of thing, being the 5th seed and that kind of thing, was that kind of what you were expecting in the postseason?
No. Before we started the year, I thought we'd be better than a 5th seed. We haven't really played to what I thought we would play this year. Probably a lot of reasons. I think everybody has their own COVID stories, but that just getting started with me being a new coach and not having a fall of tournament. So I think it took a little bit to get the rust off. Usually you kind of knock that out in the fall and then you make a turn in the spring, but we're playing our fall kind of in the spring. So I'm hoping now we're headed towards the right direction. As far as the ACC is concerned, strongest golf conference in the country this year. I know they're always good, but this year was just a joke. We were the 7th seed at conference, ranked 28th in the country. I think they had 4 teams inside the top 10, and we ended up having all 10 teams ranked inside the top 50, which is just super strong. So that was a good preparation for regionals. I think regionals may seem a little easy compared to the conference tournament, which is what I'm hoping it seems like. So I think it was a good preparation for the national championship.
And a follow-up, you mentioned towards the end of the year, you've seen much better things recently, have you not, out of your guys as a team?
Yeah, I don't know if the scores are necessarily showing it, but I'm watching them learn and watching them do the right things now and putting rounds together. And we haven't really done it yet as a team. I think that it's going to happen. Hopefully it happens the first round of the regionals. But I think they've matured a lot as the year went on and kind of became a better team. And they're starting to play smarter golf. And I think it's going to pay off for us.
Hey, Coach Cameron with the Courier Journal. I'm curious just what this year has been like for you, for your first year, and just how you feel like you've adjusted as the season's gone on.
Yeah, the year's been although it's been hard because of the COVID situation, it's been incredibly fun. And I've got such a good group of student athletes. I couldn't have asked for a better group of guys. They're ultra talented and they're really good guys. And we've had a lot of fun on the road, learning together, even though we haven't, won a tournament yet. I'm hoping our first one's going to be at the regional championship. And I've loved Louisville. I've loved the support that we've gotten as a program, especially from the athletic administration and the people out at ULGC and Noah and Todd and the guys out there. But it's been fun, and I can't wait to get on the road recruiting June 1, just because I want to, we've got 4 seniors leaving. 4 of the 6 that are going to the regional championship are leaving. So we've got 4 coming in for next year, but I want to get out and properly recruit for the future and watch some kids play golf and start trying to build as good a team as I possibly can.
And you have obviously a lot of coaching experience, but is preparing for a regional as the Louisville head coach different than preparing for a regional, whether you were at Baylor or anywhere else?
I don't think so. I mean, coaching's coaching, no matter what level you're doing it at, or if you're assistant or head coach. And at Baylor, I was actually at the Louisville region, and so that was fun. But we've won a regional championship at Baylor, and so I coached a regional championship team, so I kind of know what it takes. And we've made match play at the national championship, and I think it's all the same, to be honest. And our guys got a little taste of it the last couple of years with going to winning. I think they finished 4th at their home regional, and then they made nationals, and they've gotten a little taste of it. But I want them to think a little more elite. And I think once we kind of get a good win or a good finish underneath our belt at regionals, we'll be ready for the national championship.
Ryan, can you just talk a little bit about what Matthias has done this year, and since you first got him and saw him until now, kind of maybe what's different with him as he heads into the NCAAs?
Yeah, Maddie hasn't had his best year, but even Maddie's bad years or okay years are still good relative to the normal college golfer, right? He's still having a pretty good year by those standards. His bad weeks are tied for 15th, which is sometimes a good week for some players. And I mean, he is the ultimate player. The guy is going to play for the rest of his life for a living. He's got all the tools you need. And through the year, getting to know Maddie, even though someone's that talented, he's still got stuff to learn. And I think we've kind of worked well together on trying to make his practices a little more efficient, trying to get the most out of him while he's at the golf course. And that's what pros do. They don't want to stay out there all day. They want to get their work done and get out of there. And Maddie, his senior years, he's had a lot thrown at him. He's got a lot ahead of him, talking with his future and what he's going to do next. But I expect him to play well in the postseason. And it's been, honestly, I wish I could have him for another 2 or 3 years. He's a dream to coach.
And then with John, and as you mentioned, it's not the U.S. team, but still, it's the Walker Cup. How big is that for the program? And you mentioned June 1 and going out recruiting. How big is that for the program down the road to say, that you had someone in the Walker Cup?
Yeah, whether it's Maddie playing in the British Open or playing on the Palmer Cup team, or John playing for the Walker Cup team, all that's enormous. The more exposure we can get with the media, the better it is for recruiting. And the Walker Cup is the top of the top, right? It's the best, the highest honor you can receive in amateur golf is be able to play on a Walker Cup team. And regardless if it's GBNI or the USA team, it's just a huge honor. There's only 12 guys in the entire world that get to play that on each team every year. And John was fortunate enough to be selected as one of them. And he deserved it. He outright earned that spot. And they're getting to do some really cool things this week. I saw some stuff on social media with Jack Nicklaus there, and today George Bush was there. They just get to do a lot of things, and they start that match on Saturday and Sunday. It'll be something that he'll remember for the rest of his life. And honestly, it'll be something that our university will promote for the rest of the time we have a program at the University of Louisville. It's just a big, big honor. And we've had some really good players in the past with Adam Hadwin and Ted Schultz and some of those older guys, and Robin Seacrest, and none of those guys will ever be able to play on the Walker Cup team. And it's a huge honor, and it's something I'm really proud of.
Ryan, you had mentioned how loaded the ACC was this year. How much do you feel like the competition you guys had in the ACC tournament is going to help you guys going forward into regionals?
I think it's huge. The 6 sites that are out there for regionals, they all have number 1 seeds, and 3 of them are from the ACC and 3 are from the Big 12. So it's kind of overwhelmingly those 2 conferences this year. But yeah, I mean, there's a really good chance someone from the ACC wins a national championship this year. You've got 3 of the top 5 in the country from the ACC, and they're just dang good. And that's helped us a lot, because if you play a softer schedule and you see a lot of teams that are ranked outside the top 25 or some mid-major schools, it doesn't really prepare you for what you're going to see at a regional or especially a national championship. And sometimes when you don't play a hard schedule and you get to nationals, you kind of get punched in the face like, wow, I thought we were contenders and we weren't. And so it makes the guy step up early and know, okay, this is the level of golf we got to do if we want to achieve what we're trying to achieve this year. And, our guys know it. They're all high-level players. They've been playing here. 4 of the top 5 have been here for 4 years, and so some of them for 5 years. And so I think they know what they need to do now. And I would like to play more SEC schedule. I mean, ACC schedule and the SEC schedule. But with the 500 rule kicking back in next year, I'm sure a lot of coaches will change their mind on that. But this year it was good for us.
And what do you think you guys need to do to have a successful week next week?
Just be ourselves, to be honest. We know the golf course very well, even though we've never played it. It's our home. It's basically our home golf course, and so we just need to go out there and have fun. Put the gas pedal down and go. I think in the past sometimes we kind of steered a little bit, so to speak. when you take hands off the steering wheel and just kind of freewheel it and go. Our guys do that. We're going to play well and we'll probably win. And so, there's no pressure on our guys right now. I think the ball's in their court. They feel comfortable. And so just kind of lay back and hits, aim at conservative targets and with free swings, and we should be pretty good tournament.
Anything else for Coach? Cool. Thanks for joining us, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jody. Thanks.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.